Kidnap that nigga and call for the ransom. Two-stepping, I am not with the dance.
What it do? What it do? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's another show. It is the Kickback, man. One time.
Carolina whip powder blue.
Yo, what it is, man. I'm playing music this time. I know YouTube might block me, Facebook might block me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But oh well, we just gonna keep it cracking, you know what I'm saying? Let me cut this off. Shout out to Dave East. Facebook don't flag me. I just wanted to play the Dave East real quick, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it is the Kickback. One time, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that tuned in last week. Last week was a classic, man. Last week was pretty dope. It was pretty phenomenal, you know. But that's what we do. We do phenomenal type things and stuff like that. And we have another dope show, dope show for y'all. Hey, what's up, Nisha? You know what I'm saying? About time you tap into the Kickback. About time. About time you tap into the Kickback. But anyway, we got a nice informative show, you know what I'm saying, an educational show, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people out there, y'all want to get houses out there. So, you know what I'm saying, I have like the #1 realtor in the area. You know, I had to beg, I had to plead to get her on, you know. But before we get into that, I want to shout out the sponsor of the show today. The sponsor of the show is Miss Thang. She makes cups, y'all. She make tumbler cups. She made my cup. You know what I'm saying? And you can, if you want a cup, she can make you a cup. If you want your kids on here, if you want your sports team, you know what I'm saying, I'm DC for L. But if you want all that, you know what I'm saying, Miss Thang, she gonna have you right. And it's professional. She got like the little cart in the cup, tell you how to wash it, all that stuff like that, man. Get with Miss Thang. She gonna have you all right, you know what I'm saying? And for anybody that keep on asking, hey, where'd you get the cup for? You know what I'm saying? I got the banner down at the bottom. Bow. Okay, but anyway, I like I said, I thank everybody for tuning in last week, and we finna get started on the show. So let me bring the guest on. Hey, what's going on, Sean?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here, and thanks for the invite.
Busy selling houses today?
Busy selling houses today. Thank God. Yes.
Well, you seem to be. I mean, I always see you, you know, posting a pic. Everybody, you know, I see another person with holding that key up, smiling.
Yeah, that's the goal. So I am, of course, with Sean Weblock. I go by Sean with the Sean Sold It Real Estate team of American Real Estate. My team, of course, consists of myself, Lindsay Parrish, Yesenia, and Andres Ceja. Se habla español, and we are here to service all of Southeast Texas real estate needs.
How long you been into real estate?
Well, I started off part-time with real estate. Actually, I was working for the district for quite some time, so I was doing real estate part-time, and then about 3 years ago, I decided to jump in full-time and join. My husband is a builder, Redeem Construction, join his team and form my own team. So that's how that started.
Are you from, where are you from? You from Beaumont?
No, kind of from all over. I've been in Beaumont since '92. Kind of born and raised between Baytown, Liberty, Texas. Lived in Los Angeles with my mom for a stint. So kind of just from all over. I consider Liberty, Texas my base though. Okay.
So you work with buyers and sellers?
I work with buyers and sellers, absolutely. And so I am of course, the team leader for Sean Sold It Real Estate team. I have a great team members. They work hard. We represent buyers and sellers. Yesenia and Andres are my buyers agents. Lindsay and I list, and we help buyers as well. And our team overall, we specialize in first-time home buyers.
Okay, yeah, with the first-time home buyers, like how does your credit? How important is your credit on, you know, the first-time home buyers?
Credit is important. Credit is a critical key and part of the home buying process, getting financed. Prior to COVID-19, the minimum qualifying scores for most lenders was around 580 for most of your financing programs, like FHA programs. After COVID hit, the minimum qualifying scores went up to around 620 for FHA, and for most lenders, 640 for conventional financing.
What's conventional financing?
So conventional financing allows for, like I said, for a little bit higher credit score. You have what's called PMI, or private mortgage insurance, that's a part of your mortgage and is a part of your mortgage note. With conventional financing, that PMI falls off from your note after you've paid down 20% of the loan, whereas with FHA, that PMI does not fall off.
Okay, now, do you have people that help you with the credit? Like if somebody's struggling with credit to get it at a certain number, do y'all have people to help with, assist with the credit?
We do. Yes, we do. Different lenders have different credit repair specialists and credit repair companies that they team up with. So I kind of leave that to the lender. Let the lender kind of guide them in the direction that they feel like the buyer needs to go in as far as credit repair specialists. Different credit repair specialists have different tasks. Mm-hmm. So I kind of leave that part to the lender. But to answer your question, yes, we do have credit repair specialists on hand to work with buyers and guide them and let them know what they need to do to improve their scores. Not everybody with below a 620 credit score needs credit repair. And I need buyers to understand that. If credit repair is necessary, yes, we can take that step. But sometimes it's as simple as the lender giving you an action plan and telling you, okay, hey, these are where your scores are, and I'm going to give you an action plan. Maybe pay, just as an example, pay your cons account down to $72. Pay your Capital One down to $165. There are tricks and methods and strategies that the lenders can give you, which I call an action plan, that can boost your scores quickly. Not everyone needs credit repair.
Okay. Now, what kind of programs do you have for like first home buyers? Is it only the FHA, or is it any kind of programs other than that?
Nope, it's not just FHA. First time home buyers can qualify for FHA, conventional, and even VA if they have some type of military affiliation and they have a certificate of eligibility from their military benefits. What I consider first-time home buyers assistance is DPA. Okay, and actually that's a little bit misleading, because DPA, or down payment assistance, is not just for first-time home buyers. And also keep in mind that first-time home buyers can have purchased a house in the past. It just has to be, I believe, 3 years since they financed a home. So you can qualify for first-time home buyers, or be considered a first-time home buyer if you have already purchased a home in the past, as long as it's been 3 years or more.
Hey, can you explain closing costs to me?
Okay, yeah, closing costs. So basically, when the lender says that your cash to close, or your total closing costs, they give you, that amount to bring that cashier's check to closing. That includes your down payment. It includes your appraisal fee, your survey fee, your lender fees, your loan origination fees, title fees, all of the fees that the lender and the title company charge in order to get you to the closing table, compile and make up your closing costs. And again, once you get, and I know I'm kind of going all over the place here, but as a home buyer, first-time home buyer, we kind of walk you through the process and we explain all of these fees as you go through the process. But once you get your total cash to close or closing costs right before closing, and they let you know what to bring to closing, those fees, you'll see a breakdown of them on your closing disclosure. But again, those are all of the fees that the lender and the title company charge in order to get you to closing. Now, the seller can help you with some of those fees, and that's where we come in with closing cost assistance, and that comes from the seller.
Okay, so let me explain this, because a lot of people, when they home search, they might go on what's that, Remax or Zillow,
Realtor.com,
so they look at these nice houses. Let's just say a house, for example, costs $200,000, and you say the FHA loan. How much you got to put down? What, 3.5?
Yes, typically with FHA, your minimum down payment is 3.5%, 3.5%.
So what? Well, I don't want to. I mean, that's crunching numbers, but so they have to put down 3.5% of whatever house that they're looking at, whether it's 200,000 or 100,000 or 150,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to have that in mind before you go look at some $300,000 house and think, you could just put down, probably like a little bit of nothing.
True. Yeah, that can be misleading also. You don't have to, there was a myth back in the day that you had to put 20% down, for your home. And that may have been the case many, many years ago, but that's not the case anymore. Of course, depending on your credit and your DTI, most buyers bring the minimum down payment. And on FHA, that's 3.5%. Mm-hmm. So like you said, if you're looking at a $200,000 home, make sure you have that 3.5% saved up in the bank, but that's your down payment. That's not including your closing costs that are added with that. Now, again, my job or our goal is to get you some help, some closing cost assistance, and maybe even down payment assistance from the lender if you need it. But there are costs associated with buying a home. Now, a buyer does not pay the realtor fees. We don't charge the buyer anything for our fees. But there are costs associated with buying a home, and you do need to have some cushion in the bank in order to qualify.
How long the house been on market? Does that affect the house if it's been on market a long time?
Not really. Not really. It's kind of hit or miss. I get that all the time. I get buyers that look at a house. I was out showing the other day, and they found a house, and they absolutely fell in love with it. And the first thing they said was, "What's wrong with it? It's been on the market 180 days, 160 days." Exactly. It doesn't necessarily mean that something's wrong with the house. Some houses, some homes go, within days, quickly, and some homes sit on the market. It does not mean that something's wrong with the house, though.
So it doesn't matter if that house has been sold 3-4 times in the past 4 years or 5 years or something like that.
Well, if the house has been sold 3 or 4 multiple times within the 3, 4, 5 years, then they might raise a red flag.
Yeah. Okay. So in Beaumont, do you only deal with just the area of Southeast Texas or Beaumont? If somebody wants a house in Baytown, can they, if they're comfortable with you, can they?
We're working with buyers in the Baytown and Houston area now, actually. I have referral partners that I work with in those areas. My team and I personally service the Golden Triangle and all of the surrounding areas. But again, I'm working with buyers as far out as Houston, Springs, Cypress, all of those areas now, because I do have referral partners. Now, my brokerage, American Real Estate, we actually have agents and referral partners all throughout Texas. So, I mean, as far as, San Antonio, Waco, Lufkin, you name it, if you're looking for a property in those areas, we can definitely connect you with a referral partner through our brokerage and get you taken care of by experienced, knowledgeable agents.
Another question is, what area is growing in Beaumont that a lot of people are building around? What's the most popping neighborhood in this area for you?
The areas that are growing the most right now are Emerson Enclave is growing. That is a new subdivision off of near Washington and the freeway. The Meadows is a subdivision over on Dishman Road near the soccer fields. It is growing right now. Windermere is growing. There are lots of areas in Beaumont that are building right now and growing and appreciating.
What about if somebody wants to build a new home?
Say it again.
What if somebody wants to build like a new house, a new home?
Yeah, if they want to build a new home, it's pretty much the same process. I mean, they've got to get pre-approved for financing, get in touch with the lender first. New construction, existing homes, it's the same process as far as getting pre-approved for financing. And then they go from there. You know, if they own their own lot, it's a little bit different process because the lot can be used as collateral towards their down payment, depending on how much the lot appraises for. And if they don't own their own lot, and if the builder owns the lot, that's a different process. But again, you know, we own Redeem Construction. We do new construction as well. So that's an option. As long as you have your financing together, that's definitely an option.
Okay, so of course, a lot, like let's say what's I think it's the ranch, Diamond Ranch.
Diamond D Ranch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Diamond D Ranch, when you look at it, it says like you have to buy the lot first. The lot might be 65, 70,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it depends. Like I said, some subdivisions will allow the customer to purchase the lot, and yeah, you would have to buy the lot first. Yes. And then some subdivisions, like the Meadows, outside consumers can't buy the lots. Those are lots for builders. The builders can purchase the lots, and then the lots come with the sale of the property.
Okay. We had a question. Quinn, he asked, are there any first-time buyer grants?
There are. That's the DPA that I'm talking about. Yeah, there are different programs that, like I said, depending on the lender, different lenders deal with different DPA programs. But yes, there are grants for first-time home buyers, down payment assistance. Absolutely.
As far as like a lot of businesses closing, are you selling like a lot of business properties?
No, I don't really deal with on the commercial side a whole lot, but we do have a commercial department that deals with commercial listings.
Okay, so has the coronavirus slowed the market down? Has it made it more, comfortable for people to buy now? Because I know a lot of people losing jobs, and the market is kind of crazy right now.
Ironically enough, the market is hot right now. And when Corona hit, of course, we were all, on eggshells thinking, oh my God, people are losing their jobs. Hours are getting cut back. We're going to take a hit here. And we did for about 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden the floodgates opened and people started applying for financing and getting approved and wanting to list their homes. I mean, the market, and I mean, it's just a consensus amongst realtors. So you can ask just about any realtor now in Southeast Texas. We talk about it all the time. Business is booming.
Yeah. Sheila asked, she said, what do you think about refinancing during the pandemic?
A lot of people are refinancing now, especially with the interest rates as low as they are. Interest rates are low for refis right now. Actually, a lot of the lenders that I deal with, their what we call turn times are, when you get ready to close, their turn times are so backed up. And a lot of our appraisers are overwhelmed right now because of the amount of refinancing right now. People trying to take advantage of the lower interest rates.
Yeah, I know I'm not gonna say I wasted your time, but I know I hit you up in the past and asking like a lot of questions. Do you get frustrated with people asking questions a lot that you have to probably answer like all the time, every day?
No, I never get frustrated with that because if you don't know, you don't know. I bought a home before. I've purchased homes before, and if I didn't know, that's what my realtor was there for, to answer my questions. That's our job. It's kind of like teaching. You can't get upset with a kid for asking questions when they don't know. So no, I don't get frustrated with that. I mean, I get questions all day, every day. And that's just our job, is to answer those questions. And if we don't know the answers, our job is to research it and to find out.
Also, I know we already discussed this, but I think her name Terry Lynn. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say Miss Flowers. We discussed the VA loan and stuff. Is the VA loan let's say my uncle, he was a veteran. Can I use his VA loan?
You cannot. No. Only the veteran can use their VA loan. And I've had that question before. I've had people call me and say, hey, my mom, my dad, my son, can qualify for VA. Can I use his VA loan? And the answer to that is no. Only the borrower can use their own VA financing if they qualify for it. If they have military affiliation and they have a certificate of eligibility and they qualify for it, only the borrower can use their VA benefits.
Okay. Well, how can people reach you? I know you're all over Facebook. You're pretty social. You're not pretty hard to reach, but I was when I was tagging you, a lot of people were trying to figure out like how to get in contact with you. Can they call you? Can they just email you? What's the best way for like somebody to reach out and talk to you?
Right, absolutely. So they can call myself or one of my team members at 409-554-6599. They can call, they can text, they can email us at teamseansoldit@gmail.com. And they can reach us on Facebook. I have my own, Facebook page, Rashawn Weblock, Realtor for American Real Estate. We have a team page, the Sean Sold It Real Estate Team Facebook page. Type it in, it will come up. We're on Instagram as well. So yeah, we're pretty easy to reach.
And another thing, like, what if somebody wants to look at a house? I mean, do you talk to that person first before you go out there and just look at a house, or? Because I know sometimes, I mean, they might see a house they like and they might not have they might not be ready. They might not have the credit or whatever it may be.
Right. Yeah, I get that a lot. People, they need to understand the process, but that's where my team and I step in. And like I said, introduce them to the home buying process, give them the right steps to take, the right protocol. People call all the time and say, hey, there's this address. I want to go. Can you come meet me there and show me the house? And the answer to that is you need to be pre-qualified. You need to be pre-approved before we can have access to the house, especially with COVID right now. Some of these homes are owner occupied. The seller still lives there. Well, if you don't have a pre-approval on file, they don't want you up in their house, taking the risk of touching, doors and light switches and their children's things and things of, that nature if you're not pre-qualified, So I know that a lot of buyers in the past I've had, they give me a little bit of resistance and kickback, and they're like, well, I'm not ready to run my credit yet. I just want to look at the house. And I'm like, yeah, but if you live there, think about it. Would you want these people all up through your house looking at your stuff and they're not qualified, and not only that, being pre-qualified gives you an edge on a buyer who is not. You can have a buyer out there perusing, looking at a home, and they fall in love with it and want to make an offer. Well, if they don't have that pre-approval on file, guess what? The buyer that already has a pre-approval on file can make that offer and get that house before you can.
When you get pre-approved, if your credit gets higher, does that make it like the interest a little less? Or, I mean, when does that actually kick in, like, as far as like credit wise? Like, does the pre-approval, does that just stop right there? Because let's just say if you're a 640, you get pre-approved, and 4 months later you're at a 700. Does that matter? Does it going up matter?
In some regards, yes. If your credit score is higher, it can affect your interest rate. Okay. And so you can get a better interest rate, which of course could help you overall in the long run, with the life of the loan, you paying less for the life of the loan. I kind of like to stay in my lane. I don't like to touch too much on that one because that's more of a lender question. Lenders can tell you there's kind of a bracket of credit scores that you fall in, so, and the way it was explained to me by lenders, like, let's say you have a 620 and then all of a sudden your score jumps up to a, 628, 630. Well, you're still in a certain bracket. So your interest rate probably isn't going to change, from within a 10-point increase.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, and you gave a lot of information. I know a lot of people is gonna want to run this back, but like I said, if you, I think I'm gonna tag you. Can you tag me to your page and stuff like that? So if people want to reach out, they can.
Sure.
Because a lot of people don't understand that. They hit me up and they say, "Hey, what's the number, or what's this person number? How do I get in touch with them?" And if you tag me into your information, then people can see that and they don't have to be in my inbox like that.
Absolutely. I will do that. Yeah. And like I said, I'll tag you. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on here. I'm sorry for the poor lighting. I tried to come in the quietest room of my house
It is pretty dark.
I know. Unfortunately, the quietest room in my house, the lighting is kind of dim, and I didn't realize that until we cut the camera on. So I'll do better next time. But I will definitely tag you. I want, like I said, buyers and sellers, especially first-time home buyers, to be able to reach out and contact myself and my team. We are here to help. And like I said, you can call 409, you can text 554-6599, you can email us, inbox. We are here to help. We're here to answer questions, and we are here to make Southeast Texans homeowners.
Okay, one last question. This is a simple question. Is it hard to buy a house?
It's really not. It's really not hard to buy a house. It's not as hard and intimidating as people think it is. And that is the stigma that we are trying to overcome and get rid of here in Southeast Texas. It's really not that hard to buy a house. It should not be a tedious, intimidating process.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of people think that, a lot of people see that, they think it's hard to get a house, and I just wanted you to answer that question because you're more. It's
really not. It's not hard. You just have to start. You got to start somewhere. People have this fear of, I don't want to get my credit pulled. I don't want to, but you have to. The only way that you're going to know where you stand as far as qualifying for a home is to get your credit run. Let the lender run your credit report profile and tell you where you stand, because otherwise you're shooting in the dark. You may be paying on accounts and trying to fix your own credit and paying on accounts that you have no business, paying on. So let the lender guide you. You may be paying on medical bills that you had no business even touching. Let the lender guide you. It's not as hard or scary as it seems.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming on the show, and hopefully I can bring you back. So, because a lot of people want to buy houses every day. So, if I can bring you back on, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely, I'll come on anytime. And like I said, I promise you, this light will be better next time. But yeah, I'll come on anytime.
My sister also said hi too.
Ty?
Yes.
Hey, Ty. Yeah, absolutely. I love Ty. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Okay. I thank you for coming on.
She's a sweetheart.
I appreciate you for coming on the show.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Okay. All right. Be safe.
All right. You too.
All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to buy a house, she gave some great information. I need to buy, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even tell y'all my information or whatever like that. But she said it is not hard to buy a house, Don't be scared. Okay, y'all out there paying for these rent houses, y'all paying for these apartments when y'all could be paying for a mortgage and stuff like that. So, it ain't nothing like your own, even though you staying in an apartment or staying in a rent house, it's technically yours, but you're renting it, but it's nothing like your own. But anyway, man, let me get back to what I was saying. Sponsor of the show, Miss Thang. She made my cup, DC4L. If you Dallas fans, go ahead and get that. But if you're any other fan, you can go ahead and get that too. I got the little thing down here at the bottom so you can see. You can hit up on Instagram, Facebook, and she got the prices on the page too. She ain't one of those people that you ask her, hey, what's the price? And they be like, inbox me. No, the prices is on the page. You don't have to ask all that. So hold on, let me see. I missed to make sure you move that drainage. Yeah. Terry, you be on that drainage. That you really that's a really important thing. You ought to come on the show and talk about that sewer and drainage, because you know what I'm saying, you're very concerned about that, which it makes sense, but anyway, Candace, hey, I'm gonna buy some soap for you. Hey, everybody, Candace Noah, she has the best soap ever, I swear to God. It make you want to take 3 showers with that soap. But anyway, like I said, sponsor is made by Miss Thang. She made the cup, DC4L. And the next guest, she is going to explain why it is so important for the census, y'all. I don't think I ever filled out a census. You know what I'm saying? And our people, we be ignoring that. We ignore the census. We don't care about that. We don't pay no attention to that. But when I was researching and I was finding out a lot of stuff, the census is very important, y'all. It is really important. And Miss Ava, she's finna come on. Hey.
Hi. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good. Your lighting way better. Not the
good.
the sunlight. She was in the dark.
I was trying, but I'm like her, trying to find a quiet place in the house. So,
Yeah,
how
that's
are
how it is.
you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I had some West African vibe music going to get me in the mood for you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And you know what? We've been talking like what I think it's been like for 3 weeks. And the census, I'm glad I talked to you because I didn't know how important the census was. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It kind of really woke me up. And I felt kind of bad that I wasn't educated on it. But for the people that's watching, can you explain who you are and all that, where you're from?
Sure. First of all, I'm going to say don't feel bad about your understanding or lack thereof of the census. Many of us were in that boat. So we're going to get enlightened tonight. But my name is Ava Graves. I live here in the fine city of Beaumont, Texas. My husband is the pastor of McCabe Roberts Avenue United Methodist Church. And I am recently retired as a hospice chaplain for locally owned hospice business here in Beaumont. So I'm retired now. I'm spending all of my time working on promoting the 2020 census. And I'm really excited about that. And how we got on this journey, how I got on this journey to participate, Floyd. And thank you so much for using your show as a platform. We had someone come to our church last summer to talk about the 2020 census. They talked about there are areas in Beaumont that are considered, well, all over the country that are considered hard to count communities. And these hard to count communities are identified as communities. Generally, they're minority, low income. There is no internet access. There might be several different languages spoken in that community. Resources are limited, and they're often communities that are forgotten about. But they're communities that need a lot of resources that are funded by federal dollars. And that's why the census is so important. During this presentation, we learned that there are 19 hard to count communities right here in Beaumont, Texas. When I understood that, when I heard that information, my heart started racing because that made me think that there are thousands of people who are not being counted, which means there are billions of dollars that are not being distributed on our behalf. So
hold on. You said 19?
There are 19 hard to count communities in Beaumont, Texas. And these all the areas of the city are broken down into various tracts, and each tract has a number associated to it. And each tract has about 39, they're broken down in about 39 blocks. And so I live in tract 19, which is a very hard to count community as well. My community is from Washington Boulevard over to College Street. I live right in there. So I'm not Pear Orchard and I'm not the avenues. We're on the map identified as the heart of the city. And I love that. I love that name. But we're right there. We are actually track 19. But our church wrote a grant to the Hogg Foundation to help promote getting out the census. And so we received that grant to be in partnership with the 2020 census to help get the count out in the hard to count communities. So originally the census kicked off on April 15th of 2020. And originally it was supposed to end August 31st of 2020. Well, of course, we know coronavirus came and it pulled the rug from under us all in so many ways. So the administration extended the deadline to October 31st, and we got excited because that gave us more time to start being able to get out into the community. Well, that date has been rolled back to September 31st. So, really? Florida, we have 6 weeks to get these hard to count communities counted. And the reason the census is so important, it's our history, it's our heritage, and it's our humanity. When we count the census, that provides data that dictates how federal funding is dispersed into communities. That's federal programs like SNAP, school lunches, Medicaid. It influences our congressional representation. It influences the money that is spent on our roads. It influences pretty much everything that impacts us as a community. And that's why the census is so important.
So a lot of programs, I'm sorry. So a lot of programs that we ask for in the community and we do not get, is that because we don't fill out the census?
The census has a lot of impact on that. When we don't fill out that census, when the federal government sends dollars into Southeast Texas, they send those dollars based on the count, based on the number of people. Now, in these hard to count communities, there generally is a lower than 50% response rate. The response rate is the number of people who are responding to the 2020 census. So you think about the census, if only 50% are responding to the census, that's a whole bunch of money. Now, each person represents a dollar amount that the federal government sends based on the number of people. So when, let's say, like in my area, there's 1,000 homes, I believe, in my area. So far, 460 have been counted, and there's still 590 or so left to be counted.
Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Is the census per family or is it per person?
It is per person. Now, what's going to happen is that the Census Bureau has probably sent out. Have you received your census? Did you receive something in the mail? A lot of people say, I don't know. I saw something, I threw it away. A lot of people are fearful of the census. They feel like the government's going to take something from them, or they're going to go to jail, or they're going to be deported. And the census is, by law, cannot share any of that information other than for the use of census. It is a federal offense for that information to be shared for other than counting. Each household is counted one time and in the right place. So wherever you are living on April 1st, wherever you were living on April 1st, and the number of people that were living in your house on April 1st, each one of those persons are counted in the 2020 census.
What about kids?
Kids are counted. You're asking great questions. Children are counted. If there is a baby that was born on April 1st, that baby is counted. Every child is counted. Anyone that's born after April 1st, they won't be counted until the next census in 2020. What is it? This is 2020. The next 20, next 10 years. So right now, wherever we're living on April 1st, that's where you get counted. Have you done your census yet? I think we talked about we might do a demonstration on how easy it is to fill out that census online. This is your time, my friend. And let me interject something. We are so passionate about making sure people get counted that we're offering an incentive. So if you are willing to do this along with me in a collaboration with us and our team, we are willing, for anyone that fills out their 2020 census after watching your show, their name will be put in a drawing for a $250 Visa card. Visa card that they can use on anything. And what they would need to do is go online, fill out that census, and after they submit it and they get their confirmation number, they need to send a screenshot of that to you, blocking out their confirmation number, but showing that they did submit their census, and we'll put their name in a drawing for a $250 gift card, and the drawing will be on October 1st. The last day of the census is September 30th. So between now and September 30th, if your audience participates in filling out the census online, and they screenshot it to you, and you let me know, I'll put their name in a drawing. And in October, maybe you can invite me back on, and we could do a drum roll drawing for the person that wins that $250 gift card for filling out the census. And so what I want to also say about the census is that by law, we are required to fill out the census. We can be fined for not filling out the census.
So if we don't fill out the census, we could get a fine.
You could be fined for that. But we don't want to scare people into filling out the census. We want to encourage and empower people. Think about the things that are close to your heart. Think about the things that are close to the hearts of your family and your friends, people that you know who have children that need lunches at school, people that you know who don't have health care, our elderlies who need resources. And what about our streets? I don't know about where you live, but where we live, our streets could use a lot of work. And that federal funding has a big part to play in that. What about our congressional representation? When we fill out the census, that shapes how our districting is done. That shapes our representation in Congress. And we like to say that the census is not political, because everybody is encouraged, no matter what party affiliation or not, whether you voted or not, we encourage everyone to fill out the census. But everything is political because everything goes through our government. So if we want to get those federal dollars, we have to get counted. Now, if you're going to do your census like we talked about online, you need to go to www.2020census.com and hit response, and it's going to take you about 7 minutes to complete that census. And we can kind of demonstrate to your audience the simple process.
You said www.2020
2020census.gov. Just put 2020census.gov and it'll come up. And then just click on that webpage and then click on response.
Hold on, let me see something right quick. Let me Google Chrome. I don't want to. Okay, I guess. Let me see what this is. Okay.
And you'll see something that says respond.
All right, let me see what this is. I'm trying to share the screen. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, shape your future. Start here. So you're going to hit the response button.
Okay, okay.
And once you hit respond, it's going to take you to a screen where you're going to have questions. At the top of the screen, it can tell you kind of the order of the way things are going to go. Once you hit the response button, it'll tell you the kind of questions they're going to be asking.
I got something that says start questionnaire.
Start questionnaire.
Okay, and then it says, please log in.
Okay, so if you don't have those numbers, I think it's a 369-digit number.
Yeah, it's a 12-digit number. Yeah.
A 12. Okay, so you don't have that number. So below that, it tells you you can click on another link, right?
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah. So if you don't have that number, that's fine. You can still fill out your census.
Okay.
So now it should take you to the questionnaire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before you start answering the questions across the top, I think it gives you a category of the questions that you're going to ask, right? Do you see that at the top? It says questions about your name, questions about, if you don't see it, that. No.
It just tells me it just tells me about the first question, I guess, is in order to they need to know if I'm from the US and all that type of stuff.
Okay, hold on 1 second, please.
Oh, okay, yeah, the address and all that type of stuff. I don't think I want people seeing my address though.
Okay, well, we can't see your screen. All we see is shape your future.
What happened?
I don't see your questionnaire. You only have the first page up for us. So that's all we see is the census page. We don't see your questionnaire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not seeing your questionnaire.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I mean, I can make it where y'all can see it.
No. We don't want to see your personal business. We don't need that. But just as they're asking the questions, just tell us what the questions are, so people can see how.
Okay. Yeah. It's asking for my address number.
Okay. So you'll put in your address.
And then it asks for my my street number.
Uh-huh.
And hold on, I'll put in the wrong address for some reason. Okay. And it asks if you stay in apartment number, if you have that.
Mm-hmm.
And it asks what city.
Mm-hmm.
Beaumont. State. Let's see, Texas, and your zip code. Okay, and then after that, it goes to the next question.
Okay. Now, before you start on that, let me give you a note. If you need to go back for any reason, use the arrow on the screen. Don't use the browser, go back, because you'll have to start all over again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it just revises and asks if I have everything correct as far as my address and stuff like that, which I do. So I hit submit, and then it asks for my name, middle name, last name. So me and my dad have the same last name, so I would have to put Junior on there, right? I can't just.
Oh, so you are a junior. Someone was asking me if you were a Florida junior. I think a friend of mine goes to church with your dad.
Probably do, yeah. So I should put Junior, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it asks for your telephone number.
Okay.
And then now it starts with some household questions, and it just asks how many people are living and staying in that apartment or address or home. And okay, I'll put that. And then it asks for the names, I guess. Okay. So
take a minute and fill out their names because you want them to count. And the good thing about the census while you're doing that is the census is not based on citizenship. The census is based on residency. So everyone living in the United States as of April 1st, 2020 is counted in this census.
Okay, so I put that. I'm glad they don't ask for like socials and stuff because I don't have that.
No. They don't ask for social security numbers. They don't ask for any personal information like that.
Okay, then it asks, were there any additional people that are not on the list? So I'll just put no, it's not no additional people. And let's see. And then, okay, it just goes to April 1st, 2020 was the house, apartment, or mobile home, blah, 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 owned by somebody else, rented, or occupied without paying rent. So I answered that. Of the people who lived at your address, who rented the house, apartment, home, or something such in April. So it's just asking who's really paying.
Yeah, if you own it or rent it or other, yes.
Okay, so that's all the household questions. So then I guess you go to people. Okay, so they got people questions.
Okay.
And so I guess I go to mine. But okay, as far as like the other people I listed in the house, it's saying they have to fill it out as far as at the same time as I'm doing mine right now?
Only one person fills out the census for the whole household.
Oh, okay.
Just one person. So you would put in everyone that's living in your home, in your apartment, or wherever you're living. You would just list their names, and they'll probably ask the age, but they won't ask for social security number or anything like that. Okay.
Then after all that, it goes to your name. It goes to your birthday.
And
goes to how old you are. So that's pretty simple. You fill all that out. You click next. Then it asks, are you Hispanic, Mexican American, Chicano, Puerto Rican, all that. So you just click no if you're not.
Right.
Okay, and then it goes to white, black, Indian. So you click whatever you are on that. It's pretty descriptive too, because they go to Samoan, Native Hawaiian, Filipino, So I guess they get real detailed into it.
Well, they get not only just the ethnicity, but the origin, where people originate from.
Yeah, and then it says Black or African American. What's the difference between Black and African American? Oh, I mean,
that's your government.
I guess I just put African American.
Yes, however you identify as Black or African American, it's all the same. So don't.
Okay, African American. Okay, so I'm done with that.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. But it's saying, as far as the other people I put, it's saying it has like a start button for them or whatever. So it's not letting me go to like final questions. It still has me on people questions.
So did you fill in their names?
Yeah.
You filled in the names of the people that live in your household?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And so now it's not letting you go forward?
No, it's just saying like the relationship. Like I clicked on theirs. So I just went to this. I don't know if I would click back. Let me go to previous. So if I go to back to previous, it goes to
So you should just have listed the people that live in your home, and there shouldn't be any reason why it's not letting you go forward. I don't know what happened. I don't know what that glitch is.
I mean, I'm looking at the question she has to ask. It's pretty simple. I could probably fill hers out too, to be honest with you.
Well, that's what you are, the filler outer for everybody. You're the information. When my husband and I did ours, he answered all the questions about my age, my ethnicity, and whatever. I mean, some families sit down together and they fill it out, and some people just, it only takes one person to put in the information for everyone. That's perfectly fine.
Oh, okay. So let me go to hers. Okay. Yeah, they got that pretty straight. And it's really just asking the same questions that I answered on mine. So
yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right, African American. Then go to next. Okay, and hers is done. And then I go to my daughter, and so let's see if they have. Kyrie Hope is too fluent. I don't even see dad on here for. I see foster child, roommate, parent-in-law. Okay, here it is right here. I found it. Okay. Yeah, the census is really pretty basic, to be honest with you.
It's pretty basic. And that information is gathered to distribute dollars according to the needs of that community. So let's say you live in a community there were a lot of children. So the focus would be definitely making sure they're getting quality schools, they're getting lunches, so it's based on, that information is based on how to address needs.
Now another thing is I seen you out like holding the sign for like the census and you know what I'm saying how important it was. Do y'all go out? I mean, are y'all still going out, in the community and doing that? If somebody wants to go out there and, and
Sure.
help, start awareness with y'all?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. Absolutely. The census a few weeks ago, the actual census, they started going back door to door to make sure people had to people who had not responded. The census is going back door to door to make sure they get responded. Now, because we are a partnership with the census, we can't get people's names and numbers and addresses of who has responded and who hasn't responded. So we're just going knocking on doors in our hard to count areas just because we care. So yes, we do need volunteers. So if anyone wants to volunteer, they can inbox me on my Facebook page, or they can call me on my personal cell or text me. I can give you that as well. You finished your census? You did it?
Yeah, it shows I'm done.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. That is awesome. Now, that was painless, wasn't it?
That was easy.
That was easy. So now, don't you want just to tell everybody about how simple that was? That's great. So if anyone wants to volunteer, they can text me on my personal cell. It's the number is 832-878-6499. That's my personal and business cell number. Text message me, or you can call McCabe Roberts Avenue United Methodist Church at 409-833-1831 to volunteer. And come on out and join us. Starting on Tuesday, our team is going to be knocking on doors here in Track 19. We are going to try to cover as many doors as possible in 19 so that we can reach over to Track 21 and 22, because there are thousands of people that need to be counted before September 30th. So we don't have a lot of time. So anyone that wants to volunteer, we welcome with open arms.
So Definitely. We got till September 30th to get these people in our community to fill out the census.
To fill out the census.
I'm going to start being real advocate about getting people to fill out the census. I'm official now.
Yeah, you are. You're official. And you see how simple it is. A lot of people have such fear, Floyd, about the census. They fear that they're going to be something's going to be taken away from them, or some harm's going to come to them. People who are not documented, they think they're going to be deported. I mean, there's so many fears. On our link, and I want to invite you, with all of your excitement, to kind of go through the webpage, and I invite your audience to go on the census website, visit the page, read the privacy settings, look at some of the YouTube videos, listen to some of the stories of people who filled out the census and why they filled out the census and the benefits of it. It really is more than numbers. It's a heart matter. We care for our community, and our community has many, many needs, and we have an opportunity to participate in meeting those needs, but we have to get everyone counted. The more people we get counted, the more dollars come into our communities. And without even thinking about it, you already know, Floyd, what area of town is already 60, 70, 80% already filled out their census.
Yeah.
Because you can go over there and look at their streets, and you can see their resources and know that they're filling out their census. And then you can look at communities like mine and drive around with the potholes and drive around with so many people in need and know that we didn't get counted. We don't have proper representation. So I am determined to make an impact. And I'm so excited for you allowing us to come on your show. We have a great team that's ready to work. We welcome you all to come and hang out with us and get this message out and talk about it. I'd like to give away some swag, some census swag tonight as well. We have a swag bag. It has a water bottle in there. It has some other goodies in it. We want to give away 2 swag bags tonight. You can determine how we can give those away.
Whoever shares this, and if you fill out your census, if you fill out your census, screenshot it to me. And then I will send it to you, and then, we can go from there. So that's how it started. Just fill out your census, screenshot it to me. I will send it to her, and then, you get the swag back.
That swag back to you. And then also they'll get their name in the drawing for a $250 Visa card that we will draw October 1st to see who the winner is after we complete the September 30th deadline for the census. So it's a lot of good reasons to get counted, and an immediate reason will be to win that gift card. And our resources, once the census is counted, we have until October to turn all of that information, until December to turn all that information into the administration, and they review it in January, and then they start around April distributing the federal funding. So that's how the process works.
And let me repeat this again, y'all. She said It's a $250 Visa card. If you fill out your census, they have to screenshot it and send it to you also, right?
Now, if they send it to you, that's fine. If you want to send it to me, what do you feel like is the best way to do it? Do you think I think your audience is probably, more connected to you.
They could send it to me, and I could send it to you. I don't have no problem with that.
Okay, that'd be great. Oh man, that would be super awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that, and like I said, when you told me about the census, and I started thinking about it and looking at it, and I couldn't wait to talk to you about it. There's a few more questions before you get off that I want to ask you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Somebody asked, when do you fill out the census? And it's every 10 years, right?
It's every 10 years.
Okay, and also, the census, is it the only way, computer? Can you get like paper? Can you go somewhere and fill it out?
Thank you for asking that. If you received your census form in the mail, you are able to fill that form out and you're able to mail that form in. If you didn't get a form, you can call the 800 number. I think it's 888-932-8282 and fill out the census over the telephone. And there's over 17 languages that are spoken for people to be able to fill out their census. And I don't know if you noticed, I forgot to mention on the page that you were filling out your census form, there's a link that you can click on for English, Spanish, Mandarin. I mean, there's 17 languages spoken to assist people getting counted. Yeah, so we want people counted.
They're really serious about the census. Mandarin.
I mean, every culture that's living here in the United States and all the other the countries of America are counted in the U.S. Everyone that's counted in the United States of America is part of the census process, and so we want.
As far as reaching out to the community, are there any other people other than you that reach out to certain neighborhoods like the North End, South End?
There are other collaborative efforts going on throughout the city. There are many organizations. I can shoot you the names of some of them. We do have an official census coordinator for the Beaumont area and the Port Arthur area. Let's see. I can get a list for you and forward that to you as well. And what we'd like to do is for organizations, for people that are interested, like for you, you're interested in being in the census now. I'd love to talk to you to do a collaboration, maybe a community event where we can get people to come out and fill out the census, of course, masking and practicing social distancing. So that's something we can talk about after we get off this call, since you're so excited and you have such great influence in the community. I think we should partner up and get the North End represented.
Yeah, we get that North End represented. I'm Northside alumni.
Okay, Northside alumni, we charge you. This is going to be on you. So let's talk. Let's talk. Let's collaborate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel a little good now that I fill out the census. Now I feel like, I count it now. I count.
Yeah, you count. And everyone counts. And it's very empowering. And to be able to do that, the census is, like I say, it's a heart matter. It's beyond numbers. It's a heart. Do you really care about the people around you? Do you really want to see things better for those who have great needs? It's in our heart to be able to get out and go and make sure we make an impact. We may not get all of the 590 households counted in the next 6 weeks, but I'm telling you what, we're going to sweat until we do. We're going to do everything that we can in that process. So I want you to represent the North End, and let's talk about how we can make that happen with the connections that you have. And let's show how much we care. Dr. Maya Angelou, the great poet, would often say, my favorite quote by her is, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And that's why we participate with the census, because we care. You don't have to know a whole lot, but if you care, that's what people connect to. And we want to go out and we want to share our census story. When we trained our team and we were telling them, we gave them all the, physical training and all of the stats and all of the educational pieces. But the most important thing, we said, share why it's important to you. Share why the census is meaningful to you. And that's what's going to be meaningful to other people, is your personal connection with the census. And show them, when you're going to someone's home and you see some bicycles in the yard, talk about the children, talk about the benefit. If you see you're on a street where the road is all dilapidated, talk about, the census impacts our roads. If you're talking to someone who doesn't like the way their government is being run, talk about how that impacts our legislature, how that impacts the congressional representation that we get. The census covers everything. So it's all about the heart, connecting with the people in our community who have the greatest need.
Well, hey, I definitely want to get with you as far as like representing the census and reaching out. So yeah, after the show, maybe tonight or tomorrow, I'll definitely text you and see how we can collaborate as far as getting people involved in filling out. Because to be honest with you, it's way quick. It's quicker if you have less people. If it's just you yourself, that's probably like 5 minutes at the most. You know what I'm saying? But it's not hard at all. It's no hard questions. The government does not want your information to steal it. And somebody told me that, yeah, the government just wants your information. No, they don't want your information like that. They want you to count, because like you said, a lot of these programs that in a community that we ask for, it depends on us being counted in the census. Like people say your vote matters, your census actually matters too. So
yeah, they go hand in hand.
Yeah,
they go hand in hand, most definitely.
Definitely. I appreciate it. And I'm humbled. I'm honored that you came on the show.
No, I'm excited. Thank you for everything that you're doing. When we wrote our grant, one of the things that we put into our grant is not only are we going to be collaborating with other organizations and other churches, we want to participate with community influencers like yourself. We want to reach out into the community to the people who are connected. And so it's a privilege to be on your show. Thank you for all the great work that you're doing. And I'm really endeared to you for this.
Now you said we have till September the 30th?
September the 30th. So we only have like 6 weeks.
So I need to bring you on like maybe a little bit before September the 30th to make sure people are focused. So we got to set something up.
Okay. I'm easy breezy. Call me. Okay, I love to talk. So yeah.
I'll text you and let you know how we can set up the next date so we can, before the census ends, so we can tell people how important.
Okay. That sounds great. Thank you. Let me look at my notes to make sure I covered everything that I wanted to talk about with you. You asked some great questions, so you made the interview really well. A lot of things that I forgot to mention, you did. So thank you, Floyd. Thank you very much. God bless you and your family. Look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Thank you. All right. Be safe out there.
Bye-bye. Thank you, audience.
All right, y'all, look, I filled out my census. Y'all did y'all census? Huh? I'm official now. I can talk shit now. I did my census. If y'all didn't do y'all census, y'all lacking, okay? I'm not lacking no more. I filled out my census. My census count. All right, we official over here. This household is official. But anyway, a lot of y'all. Oh, hold on. Let me go back to the sponsor. The sponsor, Miss Thang. She made the cup. Hit her up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Sponsor of the show. Shout out to Miss Thang. Got my cowboy cup looking right. I'm ready for the season. I'm ready. Are y'all ready? Probably not, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all catch up later. But anyway, a lot of people want to say, I want to know, hey, man, when you finna go back to them topics, man? We like the topics. We like when you used to say some topics and stuff like that. You getting bougie now. You getting bougie. You getting Hollywood. You Hollywood Floyd now. Somebody called me Hollywood Floyd, man. It sounded nice. I ain't gonna lie. Hollywood Floyd sounded real fly, but I was like, I'm not Hollywood. So we finna go to a few topics. So let me bring in one guest. Bam!
Family.
I got that boy Quinn back on the scene. A lot of people see Quinn often. They see Quinn. He's a familiar on the show. It's when you have a kickback, when you have a party and you have like your favorite cousin or something like that, they always coming. They always there.
Hey, I'm here, cousin.
And also, I got another favorite too. Bow.
Oh shit! I was ready.
Oh.
Playing
in the game. Hold on, coach. You not ready? Oh Lord! Hey y'all!
What's
you ain't give us
on?
no warning or nothing. Just
my bad. Anyway, I got the Plan B podcast, one of the hottest podcasts. I like it. I love y'all. Not that I know y'all, but still, I love y'all podcast because y'all funny and y'all real.
We try. We do a little sing. We're both of those things.
How y'all doing today?
We just left this Mexican eatery and we had some drinks. We ready.
Y'all spicy.
Yeah.
Real spicy. I mean, if you want to talk about real estate, we might can get into that bag, but I'm not sure. I be knowing a little bit of stuff about real estate.
Hold on, real estate. Y'all got some real estate license?
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
How y'all go talk about real estate? Y'all don't got no license.
I know how to put a sign in the yard.
That's always a start.
That's the start. I guess that's the first test of being a realtor. You gotta know how to put a sign in the yard.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of realtor? Yeah. I gotta buy 8 more tests.
Nikki. Nikki, I seen a recent pic, girl. You was
you see me fuego. Oh,
girl.
You see the stunting on this? On this regular phone. Sometimes you gotta drive up to a restaurant you can't afford and just take a picture in front of it. In the middle of a pandemic. In the middle. But
anyway, I got to shout out my sponsor, Miss Jane. She made the cup. He blessed me with the cup. Sponsor of the show, you know what I'm saying? Not than anybody else that made cups that we know, but it's a business. This is a business. You know what I'm saying? Oh, gin and juice over there, huh?
Ooh. On my 1994 Snoop Dogg.
Every time I bring y'all on the show, my inbox blow up asking who y'all are. Look, don't hit my inbox, guys. Don't hit my inbox tonight asking who they are. Hit them directly, okay? Don't don't hit me. I'm not.
Go to Spotify and subscribe to the Plan B Pod.
Okay.
And then you can know exactly who we are. Yes.
Subscribe to that Plan B podcast, one of the hottest podcasts. I love y'all podcast or whatever. Y'all specialize. I don't know if I can say too much like this because my show a little bougie now.
You really are. You had Mike Gantz. I was like, who that? Listen, I
feel a little bougie now, but y'all are specialists. Y'all are specialists in the fuck boys.
I think I done retired from my fuckboy niggas. I got my PhD.
Are y'all still dealing with the fuck boys?
Yeah, I'm not. They cut off. We done. Queen, you a fuck boy?
No. Oh, my bad.
Queen ain't bother nobody. Queen just on the show. He ain't did nothing to nobody.
I'm just listening.
Before we get into these questions, Quinn, what you got going on, man?
Just trying to clean my station, organize. I just got my barber license on Monday.
Okay, Quinn.
I'm in the kitchen with it.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, everybody who man, I've been missing out on the comments. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a little tips.
Let us know.
I'm lacking. Right. Somebody yelled out Queen.
Desiree, what's good? I know the house smells good with them candles.
Okay, yeah, they're gonna sponsor right there. KL, she say she make wine glasses too.
Okay.
I see you.
Just saying. Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay, so anyway, y'all, a lot of people been missed. They say, man, when you gonna do topics again? I was like, shit, I don't know. I'm bougie. I didn't say that.
I remember I seen you in Walmart. You was like, you act like you didn't know me.
Who?
You're not a real bougie.
Okay.
Blame it on the mask. Blame it on the mask.
My publicist told me to start saying this. Y'all need to like, share, and subscribe to the show or whatever it is. I got a YouTube show. Y'all need to subscribe to my YouTube channel and all that type of stuff.
It's
and
the KikBack, K-I-K. Back.
Yeah, it's K-I-K, not K-I-C-K. I mean
K-I-K. I know how to spell.
Yeah, but anyway, yo, man. No, hey, support the show. I know y'all on there too, but I gotta shop mine. They're gonna have to support y'all a little bit later. But support the show. I seen this podcast in Beaumont. It was A to Z. It was some Caucasian guys, and they did a GoFund for like $3,000 for studio equipment. They passed that. They fans or whatever. They got $3,000 studio equipment. So look, I'm asking y'all, cash app $1, man. It's not going on no Jordans. It's not going on no Papados food.
We need to.
You say DoorDash.
Where you put me on it?
DoorDash. No, it's not going on no Jordans. It's not going on no Papados. It's going on straight studio equipment.
You not gonna get no crab fingers or nothing?
No,
cash app me
$1 is going on equipment, studio stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. But let me go back to the sponsor. Anyway, let's get to these questions, man. I got some questions for y'all. Lawrence said he want one of them dogs. Hey, that dog put me to sleep.
I saw that. Sleeper hole.
They did look good. You see that dog?
Yes, I saw
that BMT dog put me to sleep.
That shit looked good.
I was asleep for like an hour and a half.
I'm about to come by and see if I can get a bite or something.
Solid.
No, you think it's an old boy, your baby daddy. I ain't gonna do all that. But anyway, let's go to the topics. Okay, so school finna start back, okay?
Yeah.
And most of the females, they have to send their kid to school because they might be single or they working or whatever. So how do y'all feel about letting y'all kids go back to school? I mean, do y'all have a choice, or are y'all scared that the kid might? Because kids, they touch each other, they get sick. So
nasty.
Okay, this I'm gonna say my piece. I'm still on the fence. My kid don't go until September 8th. So, and then the first 4 weeks are mandatory online. So I still have until October to decide if I want him. Because after October, you can send them straight virtual or they can go to school. I know a couple people that, I personally know that I died from it. So it is a very scary disease. But I'm not a teacher. I be about to beat him up on homework assignments. I can't imagine having to solely fucking be his teacher. Yeah. So, I'm really leaning towards sending to school, even though it may or may not be safe, but I'm not a teacher. And I feel like he ain't gonna learn shit at home. Because I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I don't want to do it no more.
How old is your kid? How old is your kid?
I'm in the position, my child is at a transition grade, going into middle school. And we started Tuesday.
Really?
Virtually. Yes, it's virtually for the first 2 weeks, and then you have the option to go in person or to stay virtual after August 24th. And let me tell y'all, the server done crashed 2 times. She forgetting stuff. I'm stressed, and it's been 4 days. So, I was just like, you know what? You ain't much gotta go to 6th grade no more. We about to thug it out.
What did I really learn there?
you just gonna come work with mama, and that's it. Cause it's been hard. So,
yo, Jordan, let me ask you this, Jordan, because you're a head nurse at one of the major hospitals. You're a head nurse, top nurse at one of the most prestigious hospitals.
I'm with Floyd, man.
So how serious is the coronavirus? How serious?
It's very real.
We don't take it serious.
Very real.
Should have given it to me twice.
Oh my God.
Very real. So
you got the cure.
Okay, so coronavirus is definitely not a hoax. It's definitely real. I've seen people took care of multiple people with it, and it's disproportionately affecting Black people and Hispanic people, and that's really just what it is. That's mostly what I see. So y'all, now this is the other side of it. It's not going anywhere until we get a vaccine. So we gonna have to social distance, wear our masks, do our hand hygiene, put some Lysol wipes in your car. I mean, we just gotta kind of deal with it as we have it for right now, because it's not going anywhere. It's not gonna just magically go away. And the CDC is saying that this year with flu season and corona, it's gonna be complete madness.
I'm going to
so if you can afford and you can deal with your child being at home, I would say keep your kids at home.
100%.
I'm an essential worker. I ain't had one day off during this whole thing. Not a day. Okay. So
but you went to club like 6 days last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You was turned up.
I heard about that.
Dang, you in the hospital lit. You the head nurse at one of the most prestigious hospitals in
most prestigious.
Like,
now y'all think I'm going to search it for my
most prestigious.
I ain't gonna have no job Monday. They gonna call me
Alexa.
okay,
Alexa, look up this girl's nurse.
Look up the most prestigious hospital
in Texas. Because your nurse be on live.
Her face gonna pop up as soon as you do that.
She gonna be looking like this.
But seriously, my daughter, me and her dad are kind of on the fence about when we gonna send her back, but eventually she gonna have to go back. And I just hope that they are practicing social distancing.
They
not.
They not.
I know they not.
It's almost impossible.
Look,
it's disgusting. Like y'all make kids.
Mine going to first grade. He gonna have that mask on for 5 minutes. He gonna lose.
Girl, did you see?
Right.
Somebody tweeted. One kid gonna have a Power Ranger mask and the other one gonna have Paw Patrol, and they gonna switch masks, and the whole fucking mask.
My daughter loves some Paw Patrol. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now,
I think it's on right now, to be honest with you.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It was just, I've really been on quarantine lockdown. Like I haven't really did anything.
I'm scared. But
so that's why you wasn't in a picture that she took the other day.
I wasn't invited because
we went together, but I didn't want to sit by her because I'm not sure what she got going on. So I
heard about that.
She all on you right now.
On one end of the restaurant, and I was on the other end.
Y'all go get tested for corona. I think CVS giving out free tests.
Damn.
Have you been tested?
Multiple times.
All the time.
The thing
multiple times. Huh?
You stuck the thing in the back of your nose.
Yes.
How far back
I was about to fight the girl. I was like, girl, you ain't have to do all that like that. So I've been tested multiple times. It's not.
All right, I got another question. Let's get on a lighter note. I think I might have asked this before. I don't know. All right, I can't come up with all this shit all the time. But okay, both of y'all established. You established. Jordan is the head nurse at one of the most prestigious hospitals in Quinn and Jordan.
Quinn going first.
And
Nick.
I mean, yeah, Nick. Damn, I be getting your name confused. Nikki. The age y'all are, I'm not saying y'all age. Are y'all meet somebody y'all age and they're not established? Are you taking y'all time with that person?
Is Quinn gonna go first?
Quinn,
go ahead and go first. Be quiet.
Because
I could go first, but answer the question one more time. Make sure I hear it.
The question is, are you willing to date somebody who is not established at your age?
Now, are they the same age?
Yeah, the same age. Let's get like 1 or 2 years older or younger.
But you said, but they're not established.
They're not established.
I would say it really depends on their mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you meet people at a certain time in their life, but at the same time, if they're at that point in time, then, they need that season to kind of grow. You know what I mean? Because if you really don't have anything to offer, you can't really just expect something from somebody else.
Ooh, that's a word.
Yeah, and you might be that person to help that person grow.
True, but you don't have to be in a relationship with them to help them. You can give them some wise words. You can send them on their way.
So what would attract you to that person if they're not established? Just looks?
What would attract you to the person that's not established?
Yeah, looks, right?
I guess that's all that's left.
Because you know what I'm saying, you're chilling at the house and then you look on Facebook and they on Facebook about to go fight.
Oh,
or whatever.
see.
So, I might do a video
Probably
about
wouldn't be nowhere around there. Right? Yeah.
So plan B. Plan
looks-
B is different from a female's perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Y'all meet a guy and he not established. You know, he in and out of jobs. You know, and y'all pull up. You know, car, job, crib. Are y'all into those? I mean, he might try to take advantage of y'all because y'all got that. Y'all got the crib. Y'all go
He
and
might
date.
try to move in with me.
He'll never know.
Exactly. You know how
But-
dudes eat.
That's an
Y'all
absolute
cooking?
no
Y'all
for
cooking
me.
too?
No, he's cooking. He ain't got nothing.
Ain't got no time.
He detailing my car once a day. Like,
I'm gonna find stuff for him to do. I'm just gonna be literally sitting around making a list of stuff for you to do tomorrow, since you don't have no
Clean the
job.
window.
clean the gutters and I live in the apartment. Nigga, do something.
You guys do. But now
Wipe the
we
wall.
wouldn't get to that point.
Get them baseboards.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Get them baseball
super
cards.
I'm not above talking to somebody that's not established. Like, we can conversate. I'm not gonna invest myself in any way because
Right.
I'm not gonna put myself. I know how I am when I fall in love. I'm real fucking stupid. So I fuck around and we get
people
together
like that.
6 months later. He broke as hell, and I done moved into my house. I got to take care of him and my 2 kids. Like,
This nigga eating a fruit
so
snacks.
we can talk, but like I don't really see us progressing much further than that. Like I'm not gonna just say I ain't gonna give you the time of the day, but
I'm not.
Well, you-
I'm gonna talk to them because I'm a nice person. I'm a nice person.
So how
All
far
broke
does that go?
niggas
Like,
report to
you
my
cool enough to like go eat and then but
What?
like that's it?
What happened? What he said? I didn't hear it.
Okay, so if somebody isn't established, like what type of activities, like you still let them take you out to eat or this or that, or it's kind of like that's a text
What
buddy
would you
or
do?
I mean,
You know,
like,
You not even gonna have my number.
can he
so.
take me out?
right.
Like
Yeah.
he not as like I'm gonna be like you could be spending your money on other things. Like, put that up for a down payment on a car or something, nigga. Like, don't take me anywhere. I'm trying to help you.
I really just at my age, I just don't feel like. I feel like it is a waste of my time. So,
Yeah, I mean, to be
I
honest,
feel like
with
it's
you, like
a waste of my time
every
to even-
situation.
I
is
just don't
different.
have the time to waste. I don't want to text you. Like,
You're not that old.
and that's true.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on how not established they are. Because I feel like
But if they not established, but you know that they're in school and they let's say they have versus somebody that
Right.
is like maybe nickel and diamond, not really trying to go to school, not trying to do anything productive. So like from as far as I can see, it's like
I
You
just
have
feel
nothing
like
to offer me.
this. Holla at me.
Well, let me
When
ask you this. So for the person that you give the time of day, what is that time frame you give them? I think I heard you say like 6 months later, this and that. What's the time frame you feel like, okay, by this time, if this hasn't been done or they haven't elevated, then it's a wrap.
yeah, I mean like
Great question, Queen.
we could have 6 months of good leisure conversation without getting too emotionally involved or whatever. But like if we start talking in January and by June, July, you haven't, got an apartment or got a job or I don't know, passed a class or some shit, like
got a
then,
certification.
yeah,
A
like
grade or something.
yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, like I can't just say like, oh, I see you doing something, and if you like constantly in the same exact spot, I mean, you wasting my time.
That's
Because
fair.
I got kids. I can't take care of a man.
This
I
ain't
can't.
IKEA, so you gotta come to me pre-built. I'm not borrowing.
Hey, I'm a builder.
I pick them
I'm
up
a
off the
builder.
showroom floor.
Quinn say he a builder.
I know.
Hey, but look. I want to ask y'all one more thing. So, is there like a characteristic? Like, let's just say you 3 months into it, but there's like something they say or something they do, and you like, okay, like this is a red flag. Like they said this or they did this. Like, regardless if they get established or not, it's like certain like red flags of people that you kind of giving that time to or investment to that they might do better, like, you know, within that 6 months period.
True. I'm looking at my biggest thing is consistency. If you are not consistent with your conversation or just how it's not about who reaches out to who more or whatever. Like if we're not talking consistently, or if like I talk to you one day during the day and let's say I try to call you that night, you don't answer the phone and you don't call me till 2 days later. Like if you're not consistent with your conversation, I'm already just be like, he got something else going on or whatever. So like that for me is a red flag. If you're not consistent with conversation, even in the talking stage.
But are you consistent when you expect the consistency?
100%. I expect consistency, so I'm gonna be consistent. You know, like I mean, you know, like I have my days. I'm like,
That's we not using a lot
of
in 2020.
But you're not gonna text me on Monday at 9:59 and I'm gonna hit you up Thursday night. What? Like, oh, I just
like
seen
what
your
just
text.
happened to me, right? Somebody text me after 13 days. I said, nigga, why are you playing on my phone? Like, get off of my phone.
What do you want?
What do you want? 13 days.
Wow.
But anyways, yeah, be pre-built.
Yes.
Or at least in a process of being
consistent conversation.
I can put a screw in maybe, but I can't. Yeah, I can't see myself.
I don't know about a screw. What you put a screw in with a hammer?
A screwdriver.
Oh my God! You don't put a screw in with a hammer. Ask Quinn. Quinn, no.
Look, he got one right there.
Oh, he got all kind of tools, clippers.
I
That's
like
the
to see
man.
potential in whoever I'm dealing with. So
oh, he got.
If you got a good hustle about you, I'm good. If you got a screwdriver and you clean it,
in there.
That was spicy right there. I ain't that was fly. I had to put that in like one of my. He pulled out the tool.
Screenshot it and do a poster.
He pulled out the tool you need and everything, man.
Yeah, for real. He was like, here you go.
Hey, that boy inbox about to be on fire right now.
What was that little yellow thing you had?
You remember that thing that you had on the podcast?
I need to buy one of them. Can you come with me to Harbor Freight?
I think I got something that needs to be screwed.
Look. The 2-man inbox and the head operator.
Baby, she counted them days. Girl, because I was mad, Desiree. I was upset. I said, baby, why are you playing on my line? Why? Please, okay.
Was you marking out the days on the calendar?
13 days. He got me 13 times of
He had me 87 times of
Desi, I love you, Desi. Desi, that's my girl.
Shout out to Desiree.
Shout out to Desiree.
Yeah, shout out Desi, yo. What's going
on? When I first started, when I wanted to do a podcast over a year ago, Desi hit me up on some info and told me how to get my shit right.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Desi, what's my inbox?
She was really she is real key to what I'm doing right now. So shout out to Desi.
No doubt, man.
I see her on every
podcast, yo.
That's real.
Oh yeah.
Okay, look, I got a spicy question too. This is a good one. I was saving this
Quinn going first.
All right. Should a man be obligated to pay all the bills in the house?
Quinn
they laughing already.
Quinn is going first.
We need to.
Dang, they put my boy Quinn on the spizot.
I mean, I'm gonna say it like this, like, you know, everybody's relationship and this and that, what works for them is what works for them. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really put it in one form or think that works for everybody. But, you know, when you look to nature, you know what I'm saying? You could look and just see, you know, a man's role, a man's dominance, a man's role, protection. and things of that nature. So it's a lot of things that might not be written down, but at the same time.
Look at old Jordan. She didn't already. She like, woo. God dang, that's why I hit her with. She didn't. Calm down over there.
Hey, she just spilled her drink, brother.
I'm just listening. You know what I'm saying?
She did one of them cups, man.
Calm down, Plan B.
Are they fighting?
Let me get my pen. What else you were saying?
I'm about to get a plan B at the closet.
You said
I'll be right back, y'all. I'm going to get
protection, provide.
whole bunch of P words.
And a screwdriver.
I like that. Yeah. You know what? And he got a screwdriver. What more do you need?
He know how to fix stuff.
Ladies, get it, Quinn.
So Plan B, what y'all think? Do you think the guy should pay all the bills?
You know, I'm gonna be.
I got some words. I got some words.
Okay, I'll go first.
Uh-oh.
So I think, just like Quinn said,
Let's chat
on it. I think whatever works for your relationship, do that.
Yeah.
Whatever works for your relationship, damn what I say. Because who am I?
Right.
You know?
No, honestly.
But who am I?
She the head nurse.
Hey, yeah.
At some fucking mysterious ass hospital. But for me,
Hey, yo, that inbox by
at some hospital that don't even exist.
I googled the hospital and that shit was there.
So for me,
right.
I obviously make enough money to sustain myself. I don't need a man to pay all the bills. But what I think is important in a relationship for me is security.
Right.
So I'm not really asking a man for too much, but security is one of those things. So if something happens, like you know, Tasha on Everybody Hate Chris, when she'll get pissed off and she'll be like, my man got 2 jobs and just quit the job. Like, I aspire to be like that. Like, nigga, I don't need this job. My man got me.
My man got 2 jobs. The fuck you got me.
But I also think that paying all the household bills is pretty much like that's the bare minimum. So let's say you pay the lights, the mortgage, and the water. I'ma be kicking in on the savings. I'ma be buying the groceries. I'm planning vacations. I'm buying the kids school clothes. I'm getting the little knickknacks in here.
That's all about
So it's all about working as a team.
Meeting halfway.
Yeah, I don't think it ever should be just like I pay all the bills and you just kind of sit there chilling, looking stupid. You know, that's not fair. But
yeah,
I would like to be in a situation where the man pay all the household bills and I don't have to worry about
it. You know, like even still, like if I wake up in the morning and I don't have a job or something, you know, like something like that happens, he should be able to help me, you know, and vice versa. If he wakes up and some shit happen and he don't have a job.
Right. Let me ask you this: if he paying all the bills, what are you gonna do with your money?
I just said I'm saving.
And don't
I'm Rodeo every day.
I'm looking good because I gotta keep my hair done because you want me looking good, right? So I'm keeping my hair done.
I need a new nose ring.
I'm my God,
man. That's the other thing. This the other thing too.
That's not spicy.
What?
You
no,
going?
So this the other thing.
Are you cooking? Are you cooking when he come home? He paying all the bills.
I'm cleaning, but I
have lived with a man and split bills and still did all the housework.
And that's what I'll never do again. I did the same thing. So I split bills.
I like cooking, so I'm going to cook. But I split bills and cooked and washed clothes and took care of the kids and did every fucking thing else.
Exactly, and I've done the same thing, and I'm not gonna ever do
That's too much because I worked twice.
If we splitting bills, cool. No worries, my nigga.
We splitting
y'all freezing up over
there.
We
splitting everything.
Y'all freezing up over there. What Wi-Fi y'all using over there?
House.
You say the house.
Duties. I'm cooking sometime. You better figure out how to boil some goddamn
Okay, my boy Leonard say he'll pay everything if you save half your income.
Shit, that's not a bad deal.
That's not a bad deal. I need you to save half that income.
This is the most
prestigious Wi-Fi
Yeah, I mean, you had head nurse at one of the most prestige hospitals, and your Wi-Fi over there freezing up.
Now, what if your man come home to the cooked meal with the Wi-Fi?
Megan
He was supposed to take care of that, or?
Yeah, your man supposed to take care of that Wi-Fi? They done froze up. I'm gonna have to kick them off, man. I actually seen a show like this. A show they was low key. I'm not gonna say that, but because I know the person, right. But they try to follow the format, and it froze up like they did right now. You know what I'm saying? I seen the whole show. The whole show is freezing up. Oh, y'all back?
Oh yeah. Hey, welcome back.
And they're not even in town right now, so we the only people.
We the only people on the whole network.
So the man or the woman pay for the Wi-Fi?
It's not. Is that us? Go look on your phone.
We can hear you.
Hey, y'all over there messing. I'm finna kick y'all off. Yo, Quinn, I want to congratulate you on getting your license and everything, man. I see your setup.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro.
You got the vanity thing and everything, man. So what you doing right now?
I was really in the shop just kind of cleaning up my equipment. So then that's kind of one less thing you have to worry about. And especially during these times, you definitely want to practice good sanitation, working on different people and things of that nature. So, just trying to prepare for all that type of stuff.
Let me ask you, Quinn. Let me ask you one thing, Quinn, before we get back on what we were talking about since the Plan B back.
They look like they're ready.
We had to pull out our Plan B.
Yeah. Okay. So, Quinn, what are you more passionate about? Because I've been seeing you cleaning the clipper, posting pics. I mean, is it your woodwork? Is it the haircut? The barbershop, the barbering?
I mean, it is different things. I think it kind of all falls under the umbrella of artistry. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, I've been in different points in my life where I started making candles, and then after that, I started learning how to build. After that, I went to school, for accounting. Then after that, I learned how to build, just like all kind of different stuff. But the thing is that, one thing you have to realize is that a lot of times we learn stuff, but we might not use it, so we just think it's in vain. But truly, anything you learn is never in vain, because really, if you look at it, like right now, I just got my license to be a barber. And as you were saying, I built a Hollywood vanity. It's like, it kind of falls hand in hand. You never know when you'll use all those things at one time. And then now with me cutting hair, and having people come in, and then I sell candles, so that's an option as well for people to pick that up. So, never think that anything that you learn is in vain. A lot of times you might not use it till later on, but as oddly as you think, like, okay, what does clippers, building, and candles have in common? A lot of people say it's all different, apples and oranges, but the way it all came together for me, I'm able to use it to my benefit, especially a time like now when you have millions of people that lost their jobs and this and that. So a lot of times you don't want to have all your all your eggs in one basket. So really, I have a passion for everything. Whenever I build, to me, people look at it as, me building furniture, but me personally, I feel like it's really just expressing my artistry, whether it be on a canvas, whether it be cutting somebody's hair, whether it be building, it's really just expressing myself.
Hey, man, that's where it's up, man. I see the Plan B. They focused. They was focused. They was going. You were saying
That's what's up, though. That's dope.
Yes, Quinn, you couldn't have clapped.
Hey. And also Plan B, I wanna shout y'all two ladies out, because y'all out there doing y'all thing. Y'all not depending on no man.
You feel me? Pay your own Wi-Fi.
I really want none.
No, a man pays the Wi-Fi. That's why shit start fucking.
I know.
Oh, right.
We can't depend on men for nothing.
Right.
We had to just go ahead and be because.
So you had to use her hotspot since the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, trash.
Right. I understand.
He ain't pay the bill. That's why you can't depend on no man to pay all the bills.
They want if you watching.
Get missed.
If you watching this, right? Pay the
do y'all have a problem with a man with going 50-50 on bills with a man?
No, and that's what I was kind of saying before the Wi-Fi started messing up. if we're going 50-50, we're going to go 50-50 for everything.
Period.
The issue is when I went 50-50 on bills, I wasn't going 50-50 on nothing else.
I was going 90 on the kids, 90 on the cooking, 90 on the cleaning.
100.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So like,
and so it's like I'm working 2 jobs. I'm getting off of work, giving you my portion of bills, and then I'm still the only one that's cooking.
I come home and I
the
cook.
only one that's
You chilling.
I'm still the only one that's taking
making sure the kids
to,
did their homework.
You know, doctor's appointments and stuff. It's just certain things that women are naturally going to pick up and do.
Right.
Like, I mean, I can say when I got a divorce, my ex didn't even know where my kids' doctors were. He didn't know the name of their doctors because that's not something that he had to deal with. You know, so because I did all that, you know, I take care of all those things. So if we're going to be going 50-50, we going 50-50 everything.
Yes.
Let me ask you this right quick. So let's say, for example, sometimes everything is not 50-50. Like people say, you know, sometimes I need you to be 80 and I'm 20 and I'm 80 and you 20 and vice versa. But let's just say, I mean, because some people relationship like that and that's cool. You know, it brings balance. But do you feel like, okay, if it's 50-50, whenever the guy or whenever the woman falls short, because you are used to that 50-50, you're not really leaning to help them as much because it's not that 80-20 type deal as opposed to the 50-50. Like, we splitting everything in half, so when you kind of down and out, like, man, you know.
It's all about, we're gonna pick up the slack. I feel like either way.
Yeah.
If we together.
But does it change your mind frame? Like, you wouldn't help them out as much because you're doing 50-50 as opposed to the person that we like, okay, I got
if we live together, it's benefiting both of us if I help. You know, like, it's nothing about, like, if we were separate, then maybe I'd be like, oh, I've been doing
so I ain't gonna look out.
But if we're living together, even if I have to step up more, like, that is benefiting both of us.
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to pick up the slack when you need me to and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it should, you know, like, because sometimes it may be 100% on me, or 100% on you. You know, like, you don't
know. I mean, it is a team effort.
No doubt.
It is, and it should be. I don't think anybody should be with somebody, and that goes back to building. That's why I can't build nobody up, because I know what I can bring to you, and I know if we together and something happen, I know I have the capabilities of being able to step up. So I'm gonna need for you to be able to do the same thing for me. And if you still in your building stage or trying to get established stage, what if something happened with me? I can't even depend on my man to be like, I got you.
That's a big thing.
That's real. That's real.
That's a big thing on energy too. Like, I don't have. It's so much energy that we put out into the universe. Like, we put energy into our children. We put energy into our jobs. We put energy into, like, if we're going to school, and if we have a partner, we're putting energy into them. And if I'm giving you a big percentage of my energy trying to build you up, I'm taking energy away from my job. I'm taking energy away from my children. I don't have that much energy to give. So, like, I don't, that's why I said, like, I can talk to somebody that's not established, but I am not going to invest anything into you.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not investing anything into you.
I think people get scared when they hear, like, pay all the bills. Like, that's like the boogeyman or something. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I feel like,
what year was that when men were paying everything and, like, women wasn't doing a damn thing?
Right, hello.
Like, we couldn't even work.
And these niggas making $2.25 at the field.
Right.
You know, and they was still coming to get it done. But I think that inherently, I would like to think most men would like to be in a place where they can take care of their woman. I really believe that it's something that is
no doubt
out of me. And that's why you see these rappers, they get some money. What's the first thing they do? They buying her this house, buying her this bag. They proud of what they can do for them. So I think inherently, like, men want to be able to do that. In the society that we live in, that ain't always.
But another thing,
we need 2 incomes.
But men are inherently, they know how they want to be providers, right? And you know, way back when, it was the end all be all was having a man. So some women, they'll take on a man that doesn't have anything to offer just for the sake of having a man, because some women, a lot of women have been conditioned to believe that a piece of man is better than no man. And I think a lot of women are getting out of that idea, but a lot of women take on men that are another job because they figure having some type of man is better than not having a man at all.
Or having somebody that pays
Yeah,
20% of the bill.
or just having somebody big.
Yeah.
Like
It's
a
better
lot
than
of yeah.
And more power to you, homegirl, because you gonna
That's
need
what's up. That's what's up.
it ain't me. I can't do it.
All right, before we tap on out of here, what's y'all drinking on over there?
We can't get no free endorsements.
No, we're not giving no endorsements. But
Is
it's with an
is
1800.
it clear?
It's over 1800.
We were drinking tequila and some tropical juice. It's freshly squeezed because we be in the kitchen.
I only had one Betty the Builder in me. God forbid if I'm ever single again, I'm not doing it again. He gotta come full for. Listen, baby, I like pre-built. Give me the one on the display. The one that's already put together. I'm putting it on the back of the
I even take a nigga from the scratch and did stuff.
Listen, you can have a couple scratch from this. I'm gonna buff that shit out. We good. But
and one thing,
come in that box.
Look, another thing. So I did. Miss Ava, she came on. She was talking about the census. Have y'all filled out y'all census?
We was listening to you, Ava.
So
and you really inspired me, but the census people that came to my house.
What? I didn't know the census people.
They came to my house.
Really?
I haven't did it.
Girl,
and you still turned down and came to your house. What did you do?
I didn't.
I wasn't home, and my nephew was there. And he was like, "This lady just came and asked how many people lived here last year." And I was like, "Who the fuck was that?" You didn't tell her. I was like, "She in my business."
And you see black people be like, "That's the feds."
Yeah, that's what I was like, "Who was that?" He was like, "I don't know."
Off the muscle.
Don't have no warrant or never been in jail. That's the feds.
Like I declined 6 dependents and shit. Now the census come and asking me how many people live here. I don't trust it.
Because you know they knocking hard.
Let me tell y'all, when I filled out the census, it was easy. It took maybe 5 minutes. They asked simple questions.
I used to work for the census in 2010.
Okay, so you already know.
That was the same wing as Prestigious Hospital.
Was she the head census lady?
I was. She was. I was the head census person.
That's why I never had to do it, because I just call her and say, "Hey, bitch, they had mad people living here," and she just filled it out. Mine is on my icebox. I'm gonna fill it out and send it back. I'm gonna do it.
Y'all need to take the time.
I do need to do that.
Y'all need to take the time to fill out the census.
Okay.
I forgot what I typed in. It was 2020 census.gov or something.
Okay.
It don't take
that
long. It
really
takes 2 minutes.
helps with like how they do the funding, and I'm sure she already went over all that. But
I think they need to know how many people in the world so they can create another pandemic so they can get rid of some of us.
No, man.
And I'm calling conspiracy theories and shit.
No, because they do it every 10 years. So what was happening in 2010? Nothing happened in 2010.
Nobody ever came to my house until now.
Because it's important.
were you in the
Yes.
Oh.
I've been a adult for like a long ass time.
She already said the neighborhoods who already filled out the census, and typically those nice, prestigious neighborhoods. So they didn't already took care of business. You know what I'm saying?
But
they streets.
None of my prestigious neighbors told me to do it.
It really does determine like funding and how funds get distributed and representation and things like that. So it really is important.
Oh, that's probably why they came to my house, because I'm probably like the only person in my
neighborhood. Yeah, it really is important. So
I'm
gonna do mine.
That's a shame.
For coming out and talking to us about the census, because it is important.
That's a shame. One out of 4 black persons. If y'all one out of 4 black people filled out the census, and that's me.
That's why I work. I work at
the census pay good.
Quinn, you go fill out your census?
Yes, sir. You say it don't take but a few minutes, huh?
It take about like 4 to 5 minutes at the most.
Ain't no problem, man. I'll check out their website.
I did it online. I did it in front of everybody. I'm official.
Say good to go.
Just see that little generic piece of
man, y'all screen freezing up again.
And I'm still black deep down inside.
Literally like that.
So Quinn didn't do his either. So it's 1 out of 4. You the only one person out of us 4 that did it.
I'm doing mine tonight.
Right. My girl
says
quick.
Oh, never mind. Well, we're about to get off of here anyway.
This
Yeah, we
is
about to
I gotta
you know
go
what I'm
tell my nigga to pay the fucking Wi-Fi bill because he's freezing.
saying? Yeah, I mean,
texted
goddamn.
him.
But, hey, look, I appreciate y'all coming on the show.
No
His
doubt,
phone
man.
only
They-
fucking-
Plan B podcast. Can you tell people how to get in tune if y'all Wi-Fi showing they froze up?
Ah.
How can people listen to y'all podcast?
really quick.
Man, what?
Go take a
Hello?
sip.
I'm finna kick them off. I kicked them off. Hey,
We're gonna try
you
next
can
one.
reach Plan B podcast. They on Spotify. They're
You
on.
said YouTube, right?
No, they're not on YouTube. They're on Spotify. They're on.
You did say that. Yeah, she did say Spotify.
They're on Anchor, Spotify, and some other stuff, but they're mainly on Spotify right now. I don't know if they're on Apple, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not on right now, so I'm speaking it real.
Right.
They just commented. God damn, I kicked them off and they commented ASAP. Yeah, I love their podcast because they have a good time while they're doing their podcast. And
I see that.
yeah, it's natural too. It ain't no script shit or whatever. They actually have a good time. I love their podcast or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I want to bring y'all on just to chop up a few topics. I brought Miss Avon talking about the census.
Yeah.
Very
really, I love the real estate, man. That was
the real estate. Yeah, she dropped some gems and stuff like that because I think everybody should own a home or a condo or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't have to be a house. It could be like a little condominium or something like that. It could be a townhouse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or even just the land itself. Because I really thought about that too. It's just like, right now you have a lot of people that, have land, but as far as developing it for gardening and this and that, because you got a whole bunch of land and all you're doing is just cutting the grass. You know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly.
Especially with kids in school right now. I mean, that could be something that, it's always good to give kids an education, but then also you need to incorporate, life skills as well.
So you cutting hair tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Saturday, yes, I will be cutting hair.
How can somebody get their haircut from you?
If they can go to my page on Booksy, I have the link there, and they could click on Booksy and then make an appointment, have a calendar. They can choose what day, time if they want to get their haircut. Also, if they need to message me, my business page for the haircuts is @cuts by Quinn, and then you can message me there if you have any questions. But I'm definitely excited, man. It's a new chapter, but I enjoy it though. It's you definitely get to network, meet a lot of people. So that's always fun.
How was the test?
It really wasn't bad. I really didn't know what to expect. I know they had, because of COVID, they've made a lot of changes because normally anybody that I know that's a barber, they would say, you need to bring somebody up there so you can do their shave and all this other type of stuff. But at this point, you're not even allowed to bring somebody up there. So I had to actually purchase another mannequin. So you're doing facials on the mannequin, you cutting hair on the mannequin, facial shave, some with like a curling iron, a thermal curl, all kind of stuff, man. They even added a manicure to the test. So since I couldn't bring anybody there, it's like you have to get a fake hand and you attach it to the table. And so you got this fake hand and you kind of messing with the cuticles and all this.
Like that? I thought it was just paper.
Oh, no. Well, you have to take a written test, but I already passed mine. I had to take a practical test. That's what I took. And then from there, you're able to get your license.
Oh, so you could have brought, for instance, you could have brought me there to get and cut my hair in front of them or something. Right.
But because of COVID, they weren't allowing extra people to come there.
So you cut the hair off a dog?
Yeah.
Was it black hair?
No, it was straight hair.
Oh man, that test is not universal, man. I mean, because you specialize, even though you would cut anybody hair, right? But majority of your clients is probably African American, right?
The majority are. I do have a few straight hair clients, but I think it's really to be honest with you, on that particular test, it would have been a little bit easier to do that because they're looking for you to cut at least an inch of hair off. So it's almost like for me to do that, I would have to get somebody with an afro or a mannequin with an afro. But if it's just straight hair, you know, I'm just knocking it off. And then plus you got to show your shear work with the scissors. So taking like pieces of curly hair and trying to do all that, you know, it can get a little tough. So for that particular instance, it was a little bit easier to do it with the straight hair.
My boy Leonard, that's actually my barber. He said good luck, man. Barber gang.
Oh, I definitely appreciate that, man. I'm just getting my feet wet, but at the same time, that's the cool part about it. I know you were kind of touching on earlier, like some of the different things that I do, but it actually started, like my interest in it was when a buddy of mine had me build, you know, a lot of times you have kids that need a little booster chair when you're cutting the hair. He had me build one for him. And so I say, man, you know, like what is barbering like? Or, you know, how is it this and that? And then I started, you know, kind of just doing deeper research on it. And it was like, the crazy part about it was like, you know, it's recession proof and this and that. And I was like, you know, well, that's good to have some type of trade that even when times aren't the greatest that you could still do. And now this was before I that might be my phone acting up. That was, you know, before I knew anything about COVID, but it's good to see that, you know, you kind of do some research about stuff that you want to do. And then, you know, later on, it plays out to your benefit.
Yeah, so how long you gonna be in the shop, man? It's 10 o'clock.
Oh, no, I'm about to go ahead and get out of here, man. You know, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, you starting to eat, live, and sleep in the shop, man.
Right. Hey, that's how you got to start off, man. Got to show them you're hungry.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on, Quinn. You know what I'm saying? It's always great conversation. A lot of people they love to hear you talk. So
oh, no doubt, man. You know, we had these type of conversations on and off the camera. So I definitely enjoy it.
I can see the Plan B podcast. They was intrigued, man.
Intrigued. I think it was just a screwdriver.
The prop. Right. They was intrigued by the prop, man. You know what I'm saying? So ain't too many females see screwdrivers and stuff. So
hey, you like that sometimes.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming on, man. We finna tap on out of here. It's been 2 hours, man.
All right, brother. You be blessed, man. I'll catch you on the next round.
Hey man, be safe getting home, man. You know what I'm saying? I see you out there grinding, man.
Oh yeah, I'm always good, brother.
All right, man. Take care now.
All right.
Bet. Hey man, this was another informative show, man. Another informative session on the KikBack, man. Like I said, I had Miss Rashawn Webb. She was talking about how to purchase a home, man. Everybody out there want to purchase a home. Like my girl said, Lakeisha, home ownership is amazing. It is amazing because when you own your own thing, man, it's amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lakeisha. I've been knowing Lakeisha for a while. You know what I'm saying? 100. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing. Keep we all essential, but you out there in the medical field doing your thing and turning up and stuff like that. And I had Miss Ava, she was talking about the census. Man, y'all need to fill out y'all census. It is not the feds. The feds and the government is not trying to get your information and not trying to see how many people in the world so they can start another pandemic. It is not like that, man. All right. These the filling out the census goes to a lot of programs out there. A lot of programs in the community that we're lacking, that we're complaining about. If you fill out the census, it helps donate money to some of these communities that are less fortunate and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate Ava for coming on the show, and I'm finna get with her and represent the North Side on the census. We go fill it out, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all in PV, I might hit PV up. We go fill out the census out there in PV. And she also said it's a $250 gift card Visa. Fill out your census, shoot it to me, screenshot it. I will send it to her. And then you will be eligible to win $250. But anyway, man, we got some exciting guests coming on in September. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. I got a congressman coming on. I got judges coming on. I got Democrats, Republicans, mayor candidates. I got all kinds of people coming on in September. It's going to be turned up. But tomorrow, man, y'all stay tuned. I got Gary Senegal coming on. I got a young, smart, intelligent brother coming on also, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get in tune to him. He running for Texas House 22. And it's going to be an exciting show tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody tapping into the KikBack, chilling. Stay safe out there, man. just be careful out there, man, because we not promised tomorrow. What's up, CeeLo? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you tapping in. What's up, Chris, man? I appreciate you tapping in. Terry, I always appreciate you tapping in, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been meeting a lot of great people lately. Terry, you're one of the one of the great people that I also been meeting, man. You informative and all that, man. And I like meeting people like that voice their opinions, that have an opinion and something like that, because you grow from people like that. And Terry, man, I definitely been paying attention to you, man, and studying what you've been talking about and stuff like that. And all the other people that I've been meeting, like Ava, Rashawn, I've been knowing her for a while. I got Gary Senegal coming on tomorrow. That's gonna be a great conversation, like I said, and we're gonna be talking about you know what I'm saying, violence in Beaumont, you know what I'm saying, and him running for mayor and all that type of stuff. So it's gonna be a great show. I got a mental health show coming next week. So you know, I got a therapist coming on. I got a life coach. I got a young life coach coming on, a young brother life coach coming on, very positive brother. And we just gonna talk about mental health, because to be honest with you, that is in the Black community, we don't talk about that enough. We kind of shown that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people need therapy, whether it's good or bad, you know what I'm saying? It could be good. You can hit a lot of them. Shit, go to therapy and shit. They gonna coach you through that shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, tell Taylor to tap in, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to tap in. Appreciate that, CeeLo. You know what I'm saying? You day one. You know what I'm saying? Hard Young G's back in the days. Yeah, Terry, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to get off, but yeah, man, the sewage and drainage system and stuff like that. You've been the head hold on this as far as Beaumont. And I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this drainage issues and stuff like that. And I'm going to talk about it with Gary Senegal tomorrow about these drainage issues, because I've seen him voice his opinion on that also. So I'm going to see what he has to say about that, as far as it being a city issue or a residential issue. But it's been popping up a lot. And it's been a major concern in Beaumont. And also, we need to vote, too. And that's what I'm going to stress tomorrow when I'm talking to Gary Senegal, because we complain a lot about the mayor in Beaumont, but she won. She's the mayor in Beaumont, and she won because a lot of us didn't go out there and vote to get her away, because she's been mayor for like damn near 10 years. She comfortable. So we complaining about the job she done, but we're not going out there to vote her out. So, you know, that's why I'm bringing Gary on. I got Roy West coming on, too. He's coming on in the future. I got Mitch Thompson. I got a whole bunch of other people that I got coming on. I'm not finna just shout out names like that. But I appreciate y'all, man, coming on the KikBack. I'm finna chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go through these comments because I thank everybody out there for sharing and for commenting, for even watching me, man, because, I mean, this is amazing. This is cool. But I love y'all, man. I'm finna tap on out of here. Y'all be safe out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And even though I didn't know the young brother that passed away, A-Tone, RIP to him, because like I said, a lot of friends that I'm close with, they knew the brother and they was hurt from him. So I'm hurt that my friends are hurt because somebody took him away. But you know what I'm saying? Be safe out there, man. And let's stop all this violence out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about that strong tomorrow. And you know. She complacent. She too complacent. I'm trying to get on the show, but I don't want to get on the show to interrogate her. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get her on the show just to voice her, to see what her side is, because we don't know her side. We just know what all us motherfuckers be saying. But I want to know what her side is and what she has to go through to get shit done. It might be tough on her side. Or it might be a whole bunch of shit that we don't know about. Excuse my cussing because my mom watching this show. But yeah, Christopher Matthews, you're right, because only 13,000 people voted. And this city is 119. Your stats is 100, though. I ain't gonna lie. You official on that. It is 119,000. Well, it's 118 or whatever, but rounded off is 119. You 100 on that. That's if somebody want to fact check that shit 100 though. But yeah, only 13,000 people voted. This city's 119,000, bro. I think Gary Senegal only got like what, I don't even know, but it was under like 7,000 votes or whatever. And this city is majority black. This city is majority black. So let's just say Gary Senegal got 7,000 votes, which he didn't get, but I'm just giving that number. So let's just say he got 7,000 votes. It's like maybe 60,000 black people in Beaumont. So out of 60,000, 77,000 voted. So a lot of people on Facebook be lying and talking about they voting and they did all this and stuff like that. And they're not really voting. So I can't wait to talk to Gary about this. Because it's gonna be an important it's gonna be turned up. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be spicy. He got 4 something. So he got 4,000 votes. That's crazy. He got 4,000 votes. So that's one of the questions I'm gonna ask him. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow. Only 3,200 African Americans voted. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Only 3,200 African Americans voted. But we always complain. We're the number one people complaining. But look, 3,200 voted. But anyway, man, I'm finna tap on out of here, man. I'm finna chill. My daughter want to play Roblox and stuff like that. And like I said, man, I thank everybody who commented. I thank everybody who shared. I thank everybody who liked it, this show or whatever. I appreciate y'all. I'm humbled every day. I'm humbled. And a lot of people need to know this, that I don't just wake up Friday or Saturday and do this show. It takes a lot of effort. It takes me digging, talking to these guests, researching, and just at least knowing something. You know what I'm saying? I don't just wake up and say and ask some freestyle questions. If I'm freestyling these questions, I'm meant for this, but I'm actually writing these questions down as the week go. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm finna tap on out of here, man. I love y'all. Like I say, be safe and show some pride in Beaumont, man. Show some pride in your community. All right, 100. Be safe out there, man.